All right. So let me start again because I'm recording. My name is Meshell Baker. I'm an award-winning international speaker. I'm a sales confidence coach and currently serving as the Director of Global Sales Development for the National Association of Sales Professionals. And everything I do is about changing the way the world embraces confidence, because sales confidence, by another word, is the psychology of selling, which is basically that internal conversation that we have that empowers us, that in the face of circumstances that we stay the course. So how does that attribute to how we stay motivated and focused? It works in our life every day and all day. So what happens is, why circumstances cause us to feel a certain way is because we haven't calibrated our internal we haven't decided internally that no matter what, I am going to be awesome. I am going to be amazing. Thank you guys for joining. Hey, Chris, like people are jumping on. Hey, Shanice. Hi, everybody. So I am going to, if you haven't already done this, I'm going to mute you. So if you could mute yourself, that would be great, but so I won't slow me down, but I'm going to go through and mute you because it's for the recording and just for the background noise. So again, why I do this is because what happens is when we do not create something inside of us that helps us, and I want to show you this. This is a slide that you'll see throughout, like when you're doing your posts. People put it up periodically on LinkedIn. I see it on Instagram. I've seen it on people's slide decks. And why we have trouble staying motivated and staying focused, because motivation and focus all come from below this line. Everything that keeps us to course, that in the midst of circumstances, situation, and people, so that we do not become triggered by our emotions, happens under the iceberg. It happens inside of us. It happens before we even meet the person, before the circumstance, before this whole coronavirus happened. There were people who were working on their mindset on a daily basis. They were reading their visions. They were clear on who they wanted to become, why they wanted it, and what they were going to achieve, regardless of external situations. So the virus is just a slowdown, and it just gives them an opportunity to utilize, leverage, and optimize their current conditions. Whereas people who have not done this work will find it frustrating, will find it overwhelming, will be in fear, will hear the news and all the people around them, and it starts to pile up and build up. So why I do the work that I do and why I'm doing this is because the only way you can stay motivated and focused is by having a target. Your unconscious mind, which is everything below this line, it works on its own. The only time your unconscious rests is when you sleep. Excuse me. As long as you are awake, your unconscious is doing work. It's having a conversation and it's telling you all these things. So no matter what's happening, it's a chatter in the back of your head. When you're talking to someone, you got a conversation. They can't even finish talking because you know what you ought to do, what you need to do. Ideas are popping in your head. That's your unconscious. It never stops and it keeps going all the time. So how do you get this thing, this 80 to 90% of your unconscious to help you to stay focused and motivated? You give it something to focus on, right? I want you to think of it like it's your pet and you have to train it. Most of us have not raised in environments by our parents, our upbringing, our socialization, where we went to school, the people we hang around. The bulk of society, less than 5% of society, actually works on mindset. What most people do is hire, pay, and chase things that are material, achievements, acquisitions, right? Things you could attain, and you know they don't last. This is why you have the midlife crisis. This is what the midlife crisis is. People have been working and focusing so hard on doing all these things, and then they're not happy. And so what happens is most people will set goals that I want to have something, and having is external. It's outside of yourself, and it will not give you lasting happiness. Only thing that gives you lasting happiness is who you become. And that's the only thing you ever keep, is who you become. The only thing you leave behind is who you have become, who you're being to other people. That's your be. So what I tell people is the easiest and the shortcut is to decide who you want to be and then do the persistence, make the failures, trip over the sacrifice, have the disappointments, the discipline, the hard work, the dedication, and then you create the habit and the standard, because all of this is necessary. So it becomes your knee-jerk reaction to be incredible. So what does that look like? Well, when you don't have that, what you'll start to experience is what we call the emotional downfalls. Like you're sitting at home, you're working from your desk, you're trying to stay motivated. Like, how am I going to make ends meet? If you're a small business owner, or if you have a side hustle right now, all that income is dried up. How do I keep going, right? And then if you have kids, now you're really trying to stay focused because you got them at home because they're out of school, right? I'm bored, right? So how are you dealing with all of this in the midst of what's happening? And, what I tell people is that you cannot change the circumstances of what's happening. The only thing, and if you think about it, what would be the easiest thing for you to do right now? To change what's going on, or to change how you are responding to it, to change what's happening inside of me. And this is not just true for now, it's true for life in general. You cannot change other people, right? We've been told this over and over again, yet and still most people have conversations that sound like this: what you ought to, need to, have to, should do. We do it to other people. I was raised that way, so I did that for years before I changed the way I communicated with people. And people still do it to me because that's the conditioning of our environment, right? Everybody means well and they want the best for other people. And we have nuclear technology. We have this background of all these things that technology has advanced so much in our country, yet and still the way we communicate with people is just the same way we've been doing for decades. I mean, if you're a fan of the Bible or of any religious book, or you go back and look at history, we are still doing the same thing, still talking to people. Women we're sitting around the table telling a woman what she need to do with a man, instead of telling her, if you want to have a relationship with that man, go talk to that man. People still talking about their boss instead of actually going, well, you know what? This is the commitment I made to this company. How can I hold up my end of the bargain regardless of what they say? I am going to be amazing regardless of what they do and treat to me, because anything that has value and holds value becomes valuable, and anything that maintains a high level of value being valuable will become a rare commodity, and anything that's a rare commodity will advance. It will move up. And time again, this is people included, and commodities, everything. Well, so how do I become something like that? Well, I don't allow the circumstances, the situation, and the people to change me. But Meshell, how do I do that? And this is why I'm doing this. And I'm going to open up at the end, and you guys can share and ask any questions you want about, what you're feeling, or how you want to change something, or a current person that's getting on your nerves, or a situation. And this is what I live and love to do. Is actually one of the things that I'm often told is, you can tell me anything and I'll turn it into a positive. It's a gift and something that I've honed over the years, and I'm very proud of my ability to do that. So stay tuned and we can have that conversation. So again, in the midst of these emotional downfalls, how do I stay? So the first thing to focus on and understand is that most of the planet, 80% of the population they move away from fear. So we're only always making one of two options. We're moving away from pain, or we're moving towards pleasure. And 80% of the population actually moves away from pain. That's why people sell fear. They like, if you don't do this, and FOMO works so much, people think they're missing out because it's a fear. You get a surge. Oh my God, I can't miss out. Oh my God, I have to do this. Oh my God, I have to have that, right? They're moving away from pain. They don't want the pain of missing out. So what I tell people, what the next thing we're going to do is, I want you to reflect on 3 things, right? And you can write it in chat, or you can unmute yourself, or raise your hand. So if you look at where your participant thing is, you have the ability to raise your hand. So if you want to answer out loud, I'd love that as well. But reflect on 3 things that have changed dramatically for you right now, that are causing you, angst or pain or frustration or overwhelm or fear or doubt. And you don't have to share them. And the power of actually writing something down, the tactile power of writing it down and intentionally saying, this is causing me, is how your awareness is 80% of how you change your life, right? The only other 20% is just the discipline and the refocus, but the willingness to be accountable, able to account, and responsible, able to respond to your current challenges is how you move forward. Most people just ignore it and keep going and just build up, and that's why they blow up. They let it build up till they blow up. What I'm telling you is write down the top 3 things, and you can go do this again next week or again in a couple of days, and you could do this as long as you want. Having that ability to say, what has changed that's causing me pain or frustration is powerful. So I'm going to just pause right here, and I'm just going to set my timer for like 60 seconds. And I would love to see if anybody is, as you write it down. And I'll write down, you know, a couple of mine and share them, but just to be authentic. But I'd love for you guys to share that. So I'm going to set the little timer on my phone for 60 seconds, and then we'll have, and you know, this was, I should have had the little music from the game shows. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, is somebody writing on there? Because I am definitely not doing this. MY. I think somebody started writing and it started affecting my presentation. That was pretty awesome. So we got about 30 seconds left, right? So let's see. We got about 5 seconds left. The timer has gone off. Can you hear it? So you might not have gotten 3 because you know, might need time to write these out. But for the purposes of where we are today, I want to be, I want to honor your time and, you know, that dead air, who likes that? So is anyone, I'm going to unmute everyone I muted. Let's see. And so this, and so
he let me wipe his feet.
So hello, I want you guys to know that I've unmuted you so I can hear you. Okay, that was Chris. So Chris, I muted you because you got a lot of background noise going on there, buddy. Kyle, Parrish, or Shanice, did any of you all have one thing that you wanted to share that has changed for you that is currently, like, you know, challenging you?
So this is to write down 2 out of the 3, but for me, the first 2 are coronavirus. I work in media relations, and it's one, preventing me from getting media coverage on other topics for a project I recently started, and the second one, again, coronavirus has created anxiety around travel when I'm trying to produce a travel TV show at the current time. So that's what's causing some frustration right now for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and thank you for sharing that. And I'll just ask you, you know, a follow-up question to that. Have you looked at any contingencies, or have you been strategizing, you know, creatively on how you could maneuver around that?
I have been. So on the for the travel TV show, for example, I've been working through that and thinking, okay, why not just get all the stuff done, so when things get better, or when there's an announcement that, you know, we can start to move a little more freely, then we can hit go on it and have everything ready to go. And then on the other piece, yeah, I've been thinking about other ways to be more positive, take a more positive approach, and help people understand how they can the news I'm trying to share despite this current climate.
Thank you. So and awesome. So you would be like awesome on your way, because you've taken that change, and you have in the midst of it, your creativity has ignited, right? So what people don't understand is, like, change is the mother of invention, right? We don't create, we won't invent and innovate when things are comfortable and easy. Generally, why people start innovating is because they can see something better. And the reason you look for something better, because you want something has caused you to say, how can this be different? And it's going to be interesting because this is having global impact. what the changes will happen at the end of this and what people will create from this, because there's a lot of genius on our planet right now. So, but kudos to you for sharing that. And thank you for being willing to share.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hello. Can
Yes,
you hear me?
I can hear.
Okay, that was me writing on your screen. My apologies.
No worries. That was awesome, actually.
So one of the things you said previously before you brought this reflection up is that you have a gift for looking at everything positive.
Mm-hmm.
I have that gift. I lost it, and it's on it's back. It's coming back. So I'm glad to feel that again. But where my pain is this week is I have a 21-year-old, and she's going through something that I can't fix for her. So I'm learning how to put space there, because there was pain, because I'm, as a mother, you like to fix things, but I absolutely cannot fix it. And she has to live with the situation of it herself. So I'm learning a new position as a parent of how to be supportive, but not taking over. So that's one area. The other area is where I work, like somewhat like a consultant. So I'm stationed in another company. That company is having a difficult time supplying hand sanitizer and cloths and face mask and those other things for their own employees. And I initially contacted my employer, and they said, well, just use whatever they're using. So today I was like, look, they're having enough time taking care of their employees. I'm here because of you. I need you to step up and take care of me so I can do what I'm here for. So that was kind of a positive spin, because, I stood up for myself and other people that are in my position. And I copied my direct report too, but it also went to the president of the company, and he responded and said, that's a good idea. We need to do those things. I didn't mean to put it out on blast like that, but I needed immediate response. So I'll just share those two to leave time for someone else. Oh, I got to say this. So my side hustle is real estate, which is to be my prime hustle. And I've been able to use, where I can't do the social stuff I used to do, it's actually allowing me to channel my time and my energy to be more creative and productive in that area. So that is 3.
Yeah, well, awesome. That is absolutely incredible. And thank you. And as we go forward, there's going to be a time for, as I'm going to go through, you guys have written out your things. I've taken notes as well. And then we're going to look at how to flip it. Right. So you guys will all get a chance to talk about how you can flip it. And if anybody hears something for someone else, definitely jump in and share. Right. So we will do that, because we do still have a little bit of time. So Kayla, thank you for joining us. We have gone through, and we're currently looking at the top 3 things that are causing us, that are challenging us in this current conditions, right? The circumstances are the way they are. People are social distancing, and some people are in places where, only essential workers can go out. I know that's where my brother is in California. Some people are on lockdown in other countries. So, what are the things that are currently challenging you, and you writing those, and then people are sharing them. So I want to see Shanice, if you wanted to share anything, and then Kayla, you can jump in.
Okay. Oh, okay. This is Shanice, and my challenge this week is having a young child at home that I have to help with his work because he's 6. So I have to, it's a little bit different than when they're older. So be with him a little more, and carving out more time for me to complete my work, because I am working from home. That's number 1. And then number 2, I am in a great season of growth within myself and within my company, and continuing the momentum while, um, which is a little more time consuming than it used to be, and not reverting back to stopping my momentum because others feel that I need to spend more time with them. So that's my two.
Okay.
I didn't get to my third one.
All right. No, that's good. And those are real thing. There's a lot of people who got kids. That's why I did the picture with the kids, right? Because
Yes.
that is a real thing that's happening right now. You know, there's people I know who are, you know, they're working from home and they can't even stay there. Like, this is why people go to jobs. Being at a job and on site keeps people accountable, right? So now being home, because when they go home, they watch TV. Well, your unconscious mind, remember under that iceberg that I talked about, it thinks that it watches TV. It doesn't know that it's work time. So you are literally using that 10% to fight yourself to stay motivated, right? So the reality of these conditional changes is our unconscious, that part that's in a habit state, and it doesn't understand, right? And it takes time to help it to understand. So that's why I'm doing this call, so you can create some tweaks in there you can you know, create some outcomes, some quick wins, and then bring on board that unconscious as time goes on. So thank you for sharing that. Kayla, did you want to share like your top for this?
Yes, let me spit this out my mouth, sorry. Okay. Well, I probably don't have as many challenges as most. I am still going to work. My job is still going, but during this time, because most of the child care facilities have shut down, I am struggling a little bit with my daughter being gone. She's at my mom's, so she's somewhere safe. So I'm like, okay, it's okay. You know, she's not at a babysitter's all day while I'm not seeing her. She's at my mom's, but it's still a little difficult because when I get off work, I'm used to her being there, and I'm not used to her being gone for this many days. So everything else is great. Because of what's going on right now, I've been able to take my business just from cleaning residential to having what I need to help, I guess, stop spread the diseases and viruses that are going on right now. So it's really been all up except for my daughter's gone. and honestly, I don't even know what I'm going to do about childcare, and I've not put too much thought into it because it's like I can't. I'm not gonna say I can't, but that's not what I should be for. I'm just trying not to focus on that. I'm just okay. Here's what I have in front of me right now. I'm going to work, and while I'm at work, blocking out all of the negativity and blocking out everybody talking about this, because in my mind, I'm going to help cleanse all of this. You guys have to go back to clean businesses and clean restaurants, and I got the medical grade equipment to do it.
Nice.
So that's where my mind is at. Where my mind is at, and it is a battle because I'm in an office with people all day that are like, oh my goodness, I don't know if they're gonna jump off the bridge or but they're gonna sit there and cry. Yeah. And this is all day. This is all day. So all day I'm just saying something positive about it all day. Just getting hit all day.
Yeah. So well, thank you for sharing that. And you know, it's the vulnerability. So I want you guys to understand what you've done is when you share your challenges in an open forum, not to complain, not to have somebody jump on board and be like, oh, you know, woe is you, that's bad, or they, you know, one up you. But when you share it from a place of strength, because this is what I'm going through and I am going to change this. I am going to see myself to the other side. That's what we call the definition of vulnerability. And vulnerability is powerful. I was actually on a call earlier today, and one of the people was scared. They were saying that they had all these questions, but they never asked questions. And I was telling them from my mentor, who I get to be around. So I get to be around all these 100 millionaires and these people with all this wealth. They ask questions all the time. I was amazed once I started being in places where these people were, because they constantly ask questions where everybody, the other part of the population who struggles, acts like they know everything. Whereas the people who have this wealth and this success are so willing to say, like, I don't know this. And they don't feel bad for not knowing. They don't feel bad because they need to grow. They don't feel bad because they're asking. So I want you guys to understand this is power. Not saying it from a weakness, not complaining about it, but actually stating this is challenging me and I'm going to be on the other side of this. This is why I'm saying it out loud, because I am setting the intention that I'm going to grow from this. So I applaud you guys for your willingness to share that. I just wanted you to know that before I moved on. So a couple of 3 things that I'm going to make, because I don't want to make a lot of points. Insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, looking for a different result. In order to have more, in order for your current challenging situations to deliver you a different result emotionally, financially, spiritually, materially, anything like that, means that something different must be done. And I tell people, what most people are looking for in life, they're looking for more, better, or different. They're looking for their circumstances to be more, better, or different. I want you to understand that there's not a genie or Santa Claus coming that's going to save you right now. You are the more, better, or different. In order to have more, you must become more. And that's why the pain comes in, because if you look in nature, anything that grows has to break through something. Any seed that grows, everything that grows, branches, trees, everything that in nature, when it grows, it's something is pushes through something that already exists for it to grow. So the same is true for us. The only time we become more, better, and different is in the face of a challenge, a difficulty, an obstacle, a setback, a mistake, a failure. That's the only time we become more. Now, we don't always become more when we choose not to face it, when we choose to complain about it, or we can choose to avoid it, right? But when we choose to say, this too shall pass, and I'm going to rock this, that's when you get the more, right? Remember, you're constantly saying what you want. So you're constantly asking for more. So you're constantly asking for challenges. I will say that again. When you keep talking about what you want, you are asking God, universe, divine, Buddha, the source, whatever you want to call it. I call him God. You can call him whatever you want. You are asking for more. You're making a list of more. So what is heard by our Creator is, I want challenges. I want obstacles. I want mistakes. I want failures, because in the midst of getting back up is where you grow. In the midst of doing it again, a different way, asking a different question, going somewhere else. In order to have more, better, or different, right? To become more, better, or different, I must do what I've never done, go where I've never gone, talk to people I've never talked to, learn what I don't currently know, and most importantly, feel what I've never felt. The only thing your feelings are going to give you today is more of what you have. So in the face, and that's why I do this, in the face of your feelings, that's staying motivated, you must do whatever it takes to get yourself to the good feeling. Because when you feel good, you attract good. You cannot get an apple tree from an orange seed. So that's why change, to have something different, you must do something different. And I'm just expanding on it. Remember, I must do something I've never done before, go where I've never gone before, talk to people I've never talked to, learn what I don't currently know, and most importantly, feel what I've never felt before. Change is inevitable, right? Suffering is optional. When you, instead of saying this is painful, thank you, I get to grow. This is what I have learned. I tell people, when I look and the accounts go low, when I look and I've got all of this stuff due tomorrow and like sleep is imminent and maybe not even possible, I just say thank you. All right, okay. This is going to be a story I tell from stage, because it's time to go make a pot of coffee, because it's 12:30 at night and I got a call at 7 a.m. with the Philippines where I need to be fully made up, right? So I don't think sleep is happening tonight. So woohoo, time for a dance party. Let's put the praise music on and get amped up, because thank you, thank you, thank you. And I promise you, when I finish doing my little 10-minute whatever it is, I have so much energy, because I'm grateful. I know my vision. I know who I'm becoming and where I'm going, that being is what helps me. Your behaviors can only betray your beliefs for so long. Whatever you believe about yourself, who you decided that you're being, who you're becoming, your behaviors will eventually follow. And that's why the underpinning of that iceberg, and I'm just going to scroll back to it really quick. This part is your being. Up here is your doing. That's the conscious, what you're doing. Who you're being comes from the 90% under, right? So having said that, we'll go back. Now, what you're going to do is I want you to think, and you don't have to share this, but this is for you. I want you to think about one thing you want for your life in 2020. I want you to just sit quiet. I'm gonna set 60 seconds, no noise, just quiet, and let it come from in you. What do you want more than anything? What would make your life so amazing that you couldn't even believe it? Like it might be something you've never even told anyone, but I want you to write that down somewhere. You don't have to share it. You don't have to tell anyone. I just want you to give it life by writing it down. 60 seconds, and I'll just stop. You have about 30 seconds left. At 10 seconds. And stop. Okay, so I just want you to put that to the side, and I'll talk about it a little bit later. And so now the next thing we're going to do is your courageous choices. So you guys picked those 3 things that you were challenging you. Kyle, you had already started to go into the creativity. So what I want you to understand is that whenever we feel challenges that hit those obstacles, those walls, the fear, the doubt, it's because we have taken that unconscious under the iceberg, and we're now using it against ourselves. Imagination makes you infinite. Your imagination is how you tap into he that is greater than you, that exists inside of you. Now, the challenge is that we have, when we think about it ourselves, when we start to think what I have to, need to, ought to, should do, I am using the finite space of what exists in Meshell's head. When I start asking questions like, for example, I have here, Parrish, your daughter, you can't fix her. So instead of stating, I want to fix it for my daughter, asking, what would you have me to do to support my daughter experience of faith, right? The goal is that she make decisions for herself. She's an adult, that she's able to be responsible and accountable. So how can I support her so that, because life is going to offer and dish up, because she's going to keep asking for more, right? She's going to keep saying stuff she wants. That means she's going to keep having challenges in her life. So how can I help her to be able to face this so that no matter what comes her way, she's optimizing and utilizing, right? I want you to understand, the thing that makes us human limits us to 24 hours in a day. So why can you take people from the same background, similar situations, same advantages, and you'll have a person that's homeless, you'll have somebody who has a regular life, a job, a house, 2 kids, a couple of vacations, and then you have someone who's a multimillionaire, all coming from the similar backgrounds, all had similar advantages, because 24 hours is what limits us. Our mind, that unconscious part that I talk to people about, having that routine so you can expand it. You have 100 billion brain cells. You can never stop thinking of ideas on how to create the things you want in your life. The only reason we're limited because we think there's only two choices most of the time. We think it's this or that instead of asking the question, how, or instead of how, but what can I do to create this outcome? And then walk away. Just like when you lose your keys. If you've ever lost your keys, you keep looking for them. You don't find them until you stop looking. The minute you stop looking for your keys and go do something else, what do? You put your hand on something else and the keys are there. Because when you stop trying to force it and you go do something else, you end up sourcing the unlimited, infinite mind that he that is greater than you. Always waiting, always there waiting to let you access abundance. The only reason we don't step into abundance because we think we know everything. And the reason, because people will tell me what they want, something they've never had, like that big dream you wrote out. I get clients all the time who will tell me what their big dream is, and then they go to tell me how they're going to get it. You can't get it. If you've never done it before, you don't know how to get there. Right? So the fact that you want something you've never had before means you've got to go do all these things, go where you've never gone, learn what you don't currently know, talk to people you've never talked to. So there's no way you can know how to get it exactly. So if you know how to get it exactly, it's not a dream. It's not a vision. It's a goal. And a goal, you can do that on your own. But you want to start stepping in and letting your mind start to give you creativity that blows your mind and everyone else around you. Start writing visions for things that you know in your heart that you're capable of doing, but you don't even know why you can do it. Things that are so big inside of you that you can't even describe it to another person because it's not about other people. It's about you. It's about you becoming more, right? And that's the whole point of why I do this. So when you think about the choices, so my top two were my travel. So my speaking tour, right? I felt like the fable Icarus. I had flown too close to the sun. I was living my dream. I was living out of a suitcase and a backpack, right? And I was every 2 to 3 days, I was sleeping somewhere different. I was in someone's house. I was in a hotel. I was in an Airbnb. I was on a different stage. I was in a different conference. I was living the dream. And now I'm back home. And I actually went through a period where a couple of days where I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get motivated because I was focused on what I didn't have. I recalibrated, did my work, and I'm back on fire. And again, the understanding is that, okay, so I love speaking. How can I speak? I put this up today. I have another one next week. I've reached out to people and I got to be an expert on different things. It just changes. I didn't limit myself to the stage, and I look at because why do I love the stage? Because I get to serve. I get to be valuable in helping people to get a clear and compelling vision so they can change the course of their life so they'll never be the same and everything around them will never be the same as well. So I say that to say, think about your choices, and I want you to write out like your choices, and then I want you to look at, create like a tree. Think about minimally three, but if you can, 5 different things you can do to creatively, like you've never done before. So these are things you've never done before where you can get the result. Am I making sense? And someone say, if I'm not, let me know. I'll explain it again. Because I always say, if you don't understand what I asked you to do, it's on me, not you. Hello? I know you guys are probably muted. Are you there?
Yes. Can you restate the question or the request?
Right. So like Parrish's top one, her first one was she can't fix her daughter. Yours was like currently your challenge because you had something you want to promote and the media is only coronavirus, so you can't promote. Shanice was 6-year-old son was at home. Kayla was childcare. So taking that situation, I want you to think about minimally 3 different ways you could come up with a solution or a result that doesn't have to be exactly what you want, but it can also be something that would still have you feel good. Because see, the goal that people don't understand, the goal is not to be right or perfect. The goal is to feel good. The better you feel, the more good feeling. Abundance is attracted to people who feel good, people who are happy, people who are grateful, people who are joyful. So my goal here is for you to understand that you don't need a perfect outcome. You just need an outcome that helps you feel good about the direction that you're headed, and it will just continue to get better and better. Because the one thing about our source, our God, our universe, our divine, whatever you want to call it, it will always be exceedingly more than you ever thought when you just start heading in that direction of this option is going to be awesome. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Yep, thank you for asking. I would say if you don't understand the instructions, it's not on you, it's on me, because I'm the one who gave them, right? All right, so I'll give you guys a second here. Someone put something in chat. Yes, Parrish, thank you, Parrish. So yeah, I'll give you guys like another 60 seconds here. And you're just gonna pick the top one because the rest of them you're gonna do on your own because we're about 7:48 and I wanna honor your time for 8 o'clock and be able to answer any additional questions. And then we'll have like 1 or 2 people share. And yeah. So you have roughly about 30 seconds. They don't have to be perfect, just whatever comes to mind. Oh, you're typing in chat. Be present and listen and support. Yay, I like that. Thank you, Parrish. She typed them in chat. And anybody else, that's a great idea. Thank you, Parrish. See, I just learned. You can type them in chat. You got about 5 seconds left. Okay, so who would like to share the one they picked and what you came up with?
I'll share first.
Okay.
So I picked my second one, which is the coronavirus creating anxiety around travel and preventing my TV show development. And the courageous choice I'm going to make is to offer to swap this project, my TV show project, with a business partner of mine who has done TV shows and needs me to help her with her nonprofit work. So I have a lot of nonprofit experience. I can help her drive her nonprofit project, and she could drive my TV show, I think, through a lot of these barriers that I see.
Ah, I like it. I like it. So, and that's awesome. So that's what I'm saying. This is where and understand your creative genius only comes in calm, right? Remember, you if you don't remember anything else from me today, you understand this. You cannot harvest what you have not planted, or you will not reap what you have not sown. So what I tell people is when you're looking at creating your courageous choices, get someplace, make certain you're in a good, happy, joyful, positive place, because whatever you do from that place, whatever you're writing down or thinking about, you can only create from where you are. So if you're frustrated and you're doing it out of overwhelm, you're doing it out of anxiety, out of scarcity, you will only get more of that. You cannot get an apple tree from an orange seed. So think about where you are when you get ready to make choices or follow up with people or have conversations with people. Like when I tell people, somebody says, oh my gosh, she always get on my nerves. Here she comes. Guess what she gonna do? She gonna always get on your nerves. You can't have a good conversation with her if you've already decided what the outcome is, because your unconscious mind does 90% of the work, and you just told it that you want it to remember. It goes fetch. You tell it what you want, and it goes and finds it for you. So it's going to give you more of what you got. Does that make sense to everybody? So as you do these on your own, and this is a great activity, right, to do, and those. So does anyone else have one?
Okay, this is Parrish.
Yay.
Yay. So in the vein of not fixing her situation for her, she's very independent anyway. But I will practice my listening skills with her. That'll help my own personal development. and allow me to be more empathetic without judging her. And when I do have a lot to say, write her a letter. Then that way she can absorb it at her own pace, and I'm not just stuffing my information overload into her to process, which she would more likely not receive, but maybe just shut down and reject.
Yes.
So
yeah, and that's absolutely awesome. And I love that you talked about just listening and being present. What people don't get enough of is unconditional love, appreciation. And when we unconditionally love and appreciate someone, you would never tell that person what to do. When I love you unconditionally, then whatever you tell me, wherever you are, whatever choice you make, my only response is, that's awesome. I love you. So that's why so many people get frustrated, because what we all are seeking and everything every human being does is to feel good. We want to feel good, and every human being wants to be loved and love in return unconditionally. And the majority of society has never experienced it, because the majority of society is being brought up in environments where people go, what you ought to do, need to do, should do. The minute I tell you that, there is no unconditional love. I want you guys to understand that. Understand that the minute you say that to someone, you have removed. So if you tell them I love you unconditionally and then tell them what they ought to, need to, have to, should do, you're lying. Because unconditional love means unconditional. No matter what you say or do, I got you. So, and that's what I tell people. So it's a very challenging shift to have in our behavior. And I know as a mother-daughter relationship, it was incredible for me to finally have my mother understand that please don't tell me what to do, because it hurts. It hurts when you tell me what to do, because you're basically, all my unconscious, the 90% hears is that I'm not good enough. That's what it hears. So if you want to help me, ask me a question, because when you ask someone a question, their imagination, remember, when you ask somebody a question, you capture their attention immediately, then they have to start thinking. So the neuroplasticity of their imagination, its neurons start to fire, and they start to get ideas, and they can answer their own question. What's more powerful? Them answering their own question and feeling good about themselves, or them doing what you told them and then it doesn't work and they come back to you and say it didn't work? Right? You're teaching someone else how to be accountable and responsible when you ask them a question. So I always tell people, if you have someone you love that is making bad choices, stop telling them what to do and start asking them questions. What do you want it to be? So, that's amazing. I hear you. And, I think similar, you did something like that. So are you going to do is there anything you could do different this time that would have you get a different result? I'm not telling you what to do. You got to say that repeatedly, because of patterns. Right? Our habits, they're thinking patterns and habits. So when you're asking them questions, it's so powerful, because then they have to be accountable. And then sometimes, because you've been so busy telling them what to do, people will get mad because they're used to it. Like, well, why don't you just tell me what to do? And you're like, but I love you and I want you to make the best decision for you. So I'm just here to support whatever you want to do for yourself, because I love you. So it does take a period for that to switch. And if you hang in there, anything that's been conditioned one way can be reconditioned to a new pattern or habit that supports their success. And the most successful thing you can do is help someone to make their own decisions, be accountable for their choices, and they're more likely to then continue to make more decisions in their favor, because they start to see good results. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah. Awesome. So, well, we're about 3 minutes out, so I want to honor your time. Now, you guys, I will send you guys out, because I don't know how you guys receive this from different ways, and I will send this out. If I don't have your email, type it in chat so that I can have it if you didn't get this from me and I will send this recording. I'm going to put it up on, I'm going to load it up to YouTube, so you'll be able to watch the recording. The thing I want to share with you is the work that I do with people. So here, I do vision work. So all of my clients, I do sales success, but one of the way I started my business was doing a vision board workshop, and people loved it because I taught people how to be, right? When I saw that all these people were tearing stuff out of magazines so that they could have a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. I'm gonna just have more stuff and still be miserable. right? As soon as I saw that, I thought it was ridiculous. I never did it that way. I immediately created something that said, who do I want to be? And okay, so what's the stuff that goes with who I want to be? That makes more sense to me, right? Who do I need to be so I will feel awesome about who I am, and then go get that stuff, not more stuff of who I am currently if I'm unhappy, right? I'm just going to be unhappy with more stuff and more debt. So that's the work I do. Tons of testimonials. I don't want to take up your time. I have current clients. You can always speak to a current client that I'm working with who will give you an active testimony. I don't tell people, I don't just have stuff in the past. I always have someone currently who you can speak to if you want a question. So what I have for you guys, if you have not ever downloaded it, I created the vision board. So the work that I do with people in the workshops, the paid workshops and the paid coaching and all of that, I created a downloadable. So if you text vision board to 33777, you can get that download. And right now, while we're going through these times, it will also give you the training that goes for it. The training that I created was paid, and I am giving it because I want as many. This is our chance to change the climate of humanity and how people operate. And because the more you love yourself, the clearer you are on who you are, the more powerful you are as a person, the more you give it away. Right? What I find is wealthy, successful people give away their time. Everybody thinks they don't, but they really do. I've been around a lot of them, and it's amazing how much money and time these people give away. So I'm on a mission to move myself up and as many people as possible so that we can become wealthy and successful. We can change the climate of our community, of our races, of our women, of our men, of our families. Just change the tide, because the soon as we get this planet to be 51% in love, everything changes. Game over. So let's get as many people. The text is on the slide. So it's text the number is 33777, and you're typing in the word vision board, all one word. So make certain it doesn't auto correct, because it does that sometimes, right? If you have Siri, she thinks she's smart and she wants to separate the words. So it's 33777, five numbers. 33777, and I'll type it in the chat as well, and it's vision board. And you'll get the download, and I'm going to send out the training that goes with it. So while we're in this corona, people, this is a great time to start to seed and fuel your mind, because remember, you're only going to harvest what you've planted, and this is a great time to start planting positive, awesome, amazing, magnificent, all of those things that make you feel powerful. You know, I am this, I am that, and this, all of that comes with this training that and the vision board work that I'm giving you, because at the end of this, because this too will pass, you're gonna walk out the other side shining. People gonna walk out and they're gonna still be in the same situation that they are because they stayed home and watched Netflix and TV and complained and got on and watched the news. You're gonna take this time that you've been given to ignite who you called to be. If you're on this call and you're talking to me, you got something to do in this world. And that's the only people that are attracted to me, is people who know there's something greater in them, that they're the gift that they're meant to give the world. So I'm just going to open it up for any last comments from anybody before we wrap up. And I want to say thank you for joining me. This is so awesome. Like, you've lifted me up. I love that I get to do this. You guys can tell my face. Someone asked me about my smile. I was like, yeah, literally my face hurts sometimes because I smile so much. So does anyone have anything they'd like to share before we get off?
Thank you so much for taking the time to do this.
Yeah, so was this helpful? Did you guys find this to be helpful?
Very helpful. Very helpful for me.
Yay. Well, I will let you guys go. Thank you so much, Parrish. And
I'm sorry, I couldn't get off mute. I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome. You girl, you've been rocking that chat, so thank you. Thank you, Shanice and Kayla, for showing up. And you guys have a wonderful evening. And I will keep looking out, because I'm going to do it. I'm going to, you know, as we do this, I'm going to keep doing this throughout the weeks as we're off, because again, this is my gift to the world. And, you know, this is me like showing up like never before. So thank y'all. Have a great evening.
Thanks, Meshell, for everything.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.